All right. Good morning, afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this. So, this is for my third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh graders. As I told you in my introduction, we are going to begin reading Bridge to Terabithia. Now, I messed up and I left my copy at school, so we are not going to read today. We are going to do some pre reading activities that I want to get you guys thinking about this book. So, you all have your copies of the book, and you guys also have your worksheets to fill out as we go through the book. I will take some time and possibly try to do those together. If you guys have any questions, talk to your staff about emailing me or FaceTiming me, or we can set up a Google Meet or a Zoom meeting, something along those lines. And then we can discuss the book. So, you guys have your copy of Bridge to Terabithia. Prior to doing this, if we were in school, I would ask you to get a piece of paper and a notebook and write this down. So, we're not going to write this down. You guys can discuss amongst yourselves, but we will. I just want you to think about these questions that I ask. So, question number one. So, thinking about the title alone, what do you think the story will be about? Bridge to Terabithia. Take some time, think about, or discuss with your friends and your peers around you in the apartment. What do you think the story will be about? For those of you that have possibly read this book or seen the movie, great movie by the way, if you haven't seen it, please hold off until we are finished with the book. I don't want to ruin it. Those of you that have read and seen, please do not ruin it for others. All right, so thinking about that question, you might have answers that include possibly crossing a bridge, making a bridge, finding a bridge, looking for a bridge, a special bridge, or maybe a bridge to some foreign land. Who knows? Maybe you thought some of those, maybe you didn't. Maybe you thought more, but we can't discuss that right now because I can't hear what you're saying. So, all right, question number two. Look at the cover of the book, okay? Think about what your cover looks like. Do the children that are pictured on the cover, do you think they're friends? Why or not? Why not? Are they brother, sister, cousins, family? Who knows? Think about that. Talk about your thoughts, or think about your thoughts as to what the cover of the book is. I'll give you a few minutes. Remember, when you're thinking about this question, to ask why, or to give why or why not. Do you think they might be friends? Why? Not friends? Why are they not friends? So support your answers. All right, you might think about or say something about them maybe possibly looking like they're having fun, or that they even look like each other. They seem comfortable. It's a boy and girl, so they might be brother and sister. Something along those lines. There's some covers of the book where they don't look like they're having fun. They look like they're scared of something, or it might be a scary story about a scary trek in the woods. And there's some more you might have mentioned about them being in woods or in a forest or something like that. Okay? And that goes into the next question. Looking at the cover art, what additional predictions about the story might you make? about looking at the other stuff, and I already gave you some hints. So take some time, discuss that. All right, so you might think they live in the woods, or maybe they're lost in the woods, which is kind of what I said. Maybe they find some magical place, swinging from a tree, on an adventure, hiding from someone. Maybe the bridge part might mean something. Who knows? We'll find out. Okay? All right, and one of the last things that we're going to do is I'm going to, or one of the last things that we're going to do with this is I'm going to read this dedication page. Now, as I told you, I forgot my book, but I was able to get it on the Kindle. I would prefer reading the book than reading out of the Kindle, because I wouldn't be able to look at you guys while I'm doing this. I would be looking away. So, here is the dedication, okay? Dedication, and you guys can open up your book to this. I wrote this book for my son, David Lord Patterson, but after he read it, he asked me to put Lisa's name on this page as well. And so I do, for David Patterson and Lisa Hill, Bonsai. Okay? Why do you think, what are your thoughts after reading that, and why do you think the author's son wanted to add Lisa Hill? Take a few minutes and discuss that with your peers and staff, and or just think about it. While you're thinking about that, I also want you to think about, what do you think the word bonsai is at the bottom of the dedication? Why would she put bonsai in there? Okay. So, first question was, why do you think the other son wanted to add Lisa? I said maybe it's a friend of his. Maybe it's a book about Lisa. Maybe it's a family member. Who knows? And your other question was, what do you think the word bonsai is at the bottom? Maybe it is just a saying that she has. I don't know the answer to that. I'm actually trying to Google that right now, because you know how some people have catchphrases or things like that, or maybe it was something between Lisa and her son, David. Maybe it was a word, a meaning between them. I don't know. maybe we'll find out later. Or maybe I'll do some more research and find the answer for you. All right. So, one thing that I want you guys to think about is if you guys have not read this or seen the movie, then you won't know that this book is about friendship. Okay? It's a fantastic book that talks about and deals with friendship. And we all have had good friendships. We've had bad friendships. We've had friendships end. And you guys will do that throughout your entire lives is create friendships, leave friendships. Things happen, and it's just the way life is. Okay? So I'm going to ask you a couple questions. All right? And so first one is, what do you like about spending time with a good friend? So think about that for a minute. What kind of things do you like about spending time with a good friend? And to piggyback off that question, how would you feel if you ever lost touch with that friend? And some of you have probably been in situations where you probably have lost touch with good friends. How does it make you feel? Probably not good, right? Sad. If I were to answer that question, what do I like about spending time with a good friend? Well, chances are if I'm with one of my good friends, we spend a lot of time laughing. Usually a lot of time it'll be reminiscing, remembering our younger days and thinking about all the stupid stuff that we did and, things like that. And really probably just a lot of laughing would go on. I think that is one of the best things about spending time with a good friend is just laughing and reminiscing. I've lost touch with some good friends over the years. We'll talk every once in a while, and it's just kind of one of them things. As you get older, it just as us adults will say it, life happens. Some people go separate ways, and that's just the way it is. But it is nice when I do get to catch up with those friends, and it almost seems like there hasn't been a separation for some amount of time, but that is what happens. All right, question number 2. How do you think you would feel if you ever lost a loved one, such as a family member, a friend, or a pet? Many of us have probably experienced this. Okay, and we all know that it hurts. All the above, friends, family members, and pets. All the above, we all know that it's not a great feeling. And, all right. And question 3 says, what do you think you might do if you lost a good friend? Hopefully none of you have experienced that at this point in your lives. I have, just actually a couple weeks ago, I had a good friend of mine who passed away. Not the phone call I was ever expecting, but, it hurt. But life does go on, and we move forward, and we know that they are looking down on us and watching over us now. So, with that being said, I will jump into my next thing, and we are almost finished. In normal class, this would probably take over 30 minutes, but because we can't sit here and discuss like I want to, we are almost done. So I have this worksheet here, okay? Think about what friendship means to you by finishing the statements below, okay? Now, write your thoughts in the space provided, except we're not writing right now. We are just thinking and discussing. Okay? Number one, friendship means, and you fill in the rest. What does friendship mean to you? I think friendship means to me loyalty. You know, being able to back up what you say with your friend. If you tell them that you can help them move, don't back out on them. That would be good friendship. Responsibility. I think good friendship is responsibility and keeping each other protected and safe. I don't think a good friend is going to ask you to do something that might hurt you in the long run. That's my opinion. You guys may think otherwise. Friendship means fun. Friendship, you can have a lot of fun with a good, healthy friendship. So hopefully you guys thought of some of those. All right, number two, a good friend always. You fill out the rest. What does a good friend always do? All right, so what does a good friend always do? I think a good friend will always stick up for you. A good friend always has your back. A good friend will confide in you. Or be there for you, be your shoulder to cry on if you need be. A good friend will, surprise you by bringing you something if they know you're down, something like that. Just small little things. So I'm sure you guys had some other opinions on what a good friend always does. So now off of that, number three, a good friend never blank. You fill in the rest. A good friend, what will a good friend never do? All right, going back up at my answer before, a good friend should never ask you to do something that might put you in an unsafe position. They will avoid peer pressure in negative things, negative situations. Good friends won't do that. They will look out for you. A good friend never talks about you behind your back. A good friend never. I'm drawing a blank here. I'm sure you guys came up with some good ones, hopefully some better ones than me. And last one, why is it good to have friends? It's good to have friends because, you guys think about that, discuss that for a minute. It's good to have friends because. All right. So, why is it good to have friends? Well, it keeps you from being by yourself. Allows you to talk and interact and socialize. Usually gives you something to do. If you don't have anything to do, maybe you have a friend that has something. So I'm distracted by all the outside noise going on. There are lots of reasons that it's good to have friends. So hopefully you guys came up with some and discussed some. And with that, that is our last topic for right now. Starting tomorrow on Wednesday, I will start reading this book. Now, this book will not take all 20 days to read. It's a fairly short book. We will stop and discuss the questions, or I will ask you the questions and go over those. Maybe do a little bit of review before and after. I think there's 13 chapters. If we read, even if we read 13, let me see, double check here. Oh, my computer froze on me. Yep, so there's 13 chapters. So even if we read a chapter a day, we would still have 7 extra days. So there will be some a little bit of discussions here and there, maybe a project or an artwork or something along those lines to go along with the book so we can do our 20 days of summer school. With that being said, I would ask you if you have any questions, but again, I can't hear you, which isn't all a bad thing. Just kidding. I miss you guys. So with that being said, I am signing off. This is day 1, 19 days of summer school left. And I will see you guys to start reading tomorrow. Have a good day. See ya.